Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Joe. I appreciate it. When I think about the role of youth in the SDG goals, one of the favorite quotes that I like that comes to mind is a Chinese proverb that says, "Tell me and I will remember, show me and I may forget, but involve me and I will understand." And I find that to be so profound because youth are the future of tomorrow. You cannot have a conversation about solving the problems of the future, 2063, 2018, 2030, without involving the people that are going to be the leaders in those times. And so when I think about involving youth, one of the greatest things that comes to my mind is accountability. We don't teach accountability enough. We don't teach accountability in our schools. We don't teach accountability in our home. And so you're seeing a lot of leaders today who care more about fame and status than actually solving the problems. And so I think that when we change that paradigm and change the conversation and change the narrative to start ensuring that our leaders are held accountable and that we're asking them, well, what are you going to do? What is your agenda for this campaign? If I vote for you, how do you address the issues of infrastructure? How do you address the issues of education? If we don't start there, then we're really getting nowhere.
I was just going to add to that as well, to say that technology is one of the biggest things that we have today, technology and innovation. We didn't have this 20 years ago. And so taking advantage of that and really reaching out to people, and I may congratulate you for being here today because this is a kind of platform and the space where you begin to engage in conversations like this, but just really reaching out to people and showing that you support them, like she's mentioned, but really also taking a step back and understanding that you don't understand everything and that you don't know what they may be going through, and being more open-minded to learning and to helping. I think that sometimes we have a lot of pre-notions and assumptions, and that usually puts people more in the defense and makes them sort of more closed-minded than open-minded. So that's one way that I would definitely suggest that you can help out. And as far as the SDG goals, I wasn't particularly sure if there was something specific that you were focusing on, because you mentioned that people are facing so many daily issues, and I presume that you're asking that those issues are bigger than the SDG goals, or that they're more focused on those issues because they need to deal with those first before they can talk about the SDG goals. I think that that's perhaps true. However, when we talk about the SDG goals, it's more of a platform. There's numerous issues that we could list there. However, I think that the way the SDG goals are classified are like an umbrella, if you will. So in my mind, when I think about poverty, that's probably one of the biggest issues. That is part of the SDG goals, healthcare. So a woman or a family that is still dealing with survival from a day-to-day basis will not be thinking about economic empowerment because they're still trying to put food on the table. And so I think that there's other ways that we can tie the issues around back to the SDG goals, and in our individual lives, do whatever we can to the best capacity to continue to make the world a better place. And you're studying at PH, it sounds like you're a leader in your community. It sounds like you're trying to make a change in your world and in the world as a whole. And I think that that's how you start with that. Sure.
Fair, we used to party a lot when we built bridges. I'm sure it was a big party. It was a big deal. We get over it. You'll get over it later.
I'm going to respond to you, and thank you so much for that commentary. I think it was fantastic. To your point, when you have a country with a very high population of unemployment, you start having a lot of crime because people have to eat somehow. And this also goes back to thinking about the U.S. today, and comparing that perhaps to Nigeria. The kinds of things that are being celebrated today are quick fixes. No one thinks about the source of the income. Everybody wants to have a big car, a big house, and they want it today, now, fast. And so when the society puts that kind of pressure, and the family puts that kind of pressure, you have less people wanting to be teachers, because teachers are not compensated. less people wanting to have menial jobs or vocational jobs. Everybody doesn't have to be a lawyer. Everybody doesn't have to be a doctor. You can be a chef and you can be a good one. You can be a mechanic and you can be a fantastic one. So we need to move away from this idea that a formal education, quote unquote, is the be and end it. In fact, permit me to say, because I went to high school in Nigeria, so I know this very well, and I started college in Nigeria. I recall, going to school there, and the teaching structure was such that you couldn't ask your teachers questions. They would teach you, and you took it or you left it. And I recall when I moved here and started school, and people would ask the teachers certain questions, and they would say, well, that's a good idea. Let me think about that. Why don't we research that? Let's get back. We need to change the entire atmosphere of even how we interact with the youth. It's okay to ask a question. We believe in respect to the point where you can't challenge an adult. That is dangerous. That is a dangerous thing to do, because that creates a spirit of timidity. We do not need that. We need a culture where we can challenge our leaders and say, this is not working. Before I elect you, I need to understand what you're going to do. And in time that's poverty, if you teach a person how to feed for a day, you only teach them how to feed for that day. If you teach them how to feed for a lifetime, then you solve their problem. So when you have leaders going to give people a bag of rice, a bag of beans, that also ties to poverty, because they're not thinking beyond today. They're thinking 2-3 months in advance. But if you can help from a grassroots level to help explain to people that we need to hold our leaders accountable. If there's a contract for a bridge and you don't see that bridge, we need to understand where the money went. And we need not celebrate people who have big houses and have not done anything for the economy. We need to change that paradigm shift. Until we change that and hold our leaders to a level of legacy, where they don't just think about fixing today, but about legacy to leave for tomorrow, things will not change. And it's on us. It's on us to do that. And we need to do that every day, in every way that we can.
All your sisters and your brothers and your friends, let's get together, let's hold hands and let us dance. Let's unite and give ourselves another chance. I see the walk out for road, you go see many things, everything they happen to the jolly. Oh yeah, now South Africa, be good. And in the sun or the rain or the street or the fame, we still they here together. Because South Africa, be good. Oh, Nelson Mandela, Lupita Nyong'o, Desmond Tutu, Africa, be good. Oh, Barack Obama, Kwame Nkrumah, all my freedom fighters.
Everybody move, make a see your hands up. We came a long way, so now we can't stop. Free for life, we're taking off the handcuffs. We came to spread love through the sea breeze. Natural, Mama Africa, we need peace. Home sweet home, everybody for feel free. Check my people and check the beauty. Me my duty, we're trying to make it a better place for us. And I believe it's gonna happen in God we trust. Straight from the bottom all the way up to top. I prophesy, it shall come to pass. Amen. From dust to grass, from grass to grace. But it's left to us to make it happen on a daily basis. Back to back, Africa stand for peace. Let's face the fact.
Asante nyerere baba, tunajivunia upendo wetu na amani.